I just wanted to hop on and start getting more into what it means to be traumatized and kind of how we get there. Um, I do want to just point out I am, like my name says, I am a hot mess, physically, mentally, in some ways. And sometimes I don't get things done in a timely manner. So I apologize for this taking a little bit longer than I had hoped. I was hoping to be able to get it done within a week of the last one, but I didn't. So I am here now trying to get that done. I do want you to know I've also posted some stuff on TikTok and Instagram that are also giving some education on what trauma is versus traumatized and how we get there and those things too. But today we're just going to talk about, so a lot of times we view our anxiety as the issue we are dealing with the most. But I ask you to ask yourself, is this anxiety or is it a manifestation of your trauma and you living in fight or flight? And today we're just going to spend time on, everyone likes to say, I just have anxiety. I just have anxiety. And what they might be experiencing is not the whole story. It's not just anxiety. It is probably you living in some form or fight or flight, and that anxiety comes from within out of fear from whatever you have experienced in your life. Anxiety is a symptom, okay? It's not the root cause. Trauma can cause and create anxiety by teaching our bodies that we aren't safe in this world. If anxiety feels like it comes out of nowhere or never really goes away, this might be your body stuck in fight or flight or survival mode.
Survival mode.
Either some anxiety that might be driven by trauma is like panic, even though you know you're in a safe environment. The hypervigilance, which is similar to hyper aware, where you're always up, and always paying attention, and you need to know what's going on everywhere and everything, and you're just constantly on the move. If you're avoiding things or you shut down easily, that could also be you still stuck in survival mode or fight or if you're not broken. These things that are happening for you doesn't mean there's anything inherently wrong with you. It just means that you experienced something so scary that your body is doing what it's built to do. It's adapting. It is trying to help you survive. But like I talked about last time, we don't have the same fear as they did back in the caveman days when our reptile brain, which I said incorrectly last time, I said mammal, but it's a reptile brain, that we've had since caveman times, right? Where we have that saber-toothed tiger that's going to eat us. So yeah, we got to get up and we got to go, right? Your body has learned to survive something hard. And that's incredible. It's not just anxiety, it's your body's way of protecting you. So one way to ground you when you're feeling extremely unsafe and hyper aware, or you feel like you're overly anxious, is to give yourself a phrase, a check-in phrase. Is this fear from this moment now? Or is this fear coming from another time in your life? And I want you to say that to yourself and then breathe in and release it out. And if you need to ask yourself again, is this fear from right now or from something in my past? Breathe and the best thing for us to do for our bodies right now is to help them slow down. Because remember, when you're living in fight or flight, you are working so hard. Your physical body is working so hard, and it is draining. It's draining long term if we can't get these things under control. So the biggest goal is to start to make your body feel safe. And that might mean telling it every day, like we did last time, I'm safe. Or questioning yourself, like I talked about earlier. Is this fear from right now? Or is this fear coming from the past? And breathing and slowing your breathing and deep breaths, all those things that help you calm yourself and your body are going to be good for you right now. I used to have anxiety 24/7. Well, that's what I thought it was. Anxiety. It was this feeling that just sat across my chest all the time. I'm not saying like sometimes. I'm like all the time. It never, ever stopped. And I remember having a conversation with my husband one day, and I was like, oh, hey, do you have anxiety? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh. And he was like, do you have anxiety? I said, yeah. And he said, why? And I said, I don't know. And that was the moment I realized that feeling the way I felt was not normal. And that's the moment my mind opened and allowed me to actually imagine a time or a place in my life where I wasn't crippled by anxiety. And then I started my journey. And you should know, the anxiety I used to have, it would come and go. It'd be a little bad, a really bad, medium bad, a little bad, a lot bad. It was just ebbed and flowed with life. But I could not figure out what reason or where all this anxiety was coming from. So I just had to sit in it over and over again. And I so much want to help you guys learn how to not have to live in fight or flight. It is not fun. And most times we think that's the normal way to feel because that's all we've ever felt. But I'm here to tell you, we need to start paying attention to our bodies. We need to start taking care of our bodies. And we need to start processing all the things we have experienced. I tell people we're like onions, which was actually from my professor. And I didn't quite understand it when he first told us, but the onion has lots and lots and lots of layers. Well, when those layers start to be filled with negative experiences where we don't feel safe, our body gets tired of having feelings. And one day it will just decide, you know what, cut it. I don't need to feel my feelings anymore. I'm just going to separate my brain from feeling my body. And that's what creates the anxiety that ebbs and flows, that's not decipherable, and you can't make go away. And I always say it's like that's that thick outer layer of the onion that's trying to keep it all in. That's our anxiety, trying to push down years and years of feelings that none of us have processed. And it builds and builds and builds. And the more it builds, the harder it is to keep it all in. But what we need to do is focus on that anxiety so that we can get that off our backs or our chests or whatever part of the body you feel it in, so that we can start to go back and process all those things we didn't know how. And there's no one to blame. I'm not blaming anyone for any of this, because I know that people just didn't know how to do this. And we can't do something we've never understood. So I don't blame my parents, I don't blame my grandparents, I don't blame anyone. I know that this is just how I was able to cope with life. And now I just want to learn how to live life. And I want to learn to live life with you guys too. So I have a little bit of an impulse issue because I have ADHD, I have depression, I have anxiety, what other? ADHD, anxiety, depression, I don't know. So many things. PTSD, lots of medical problems. Like I said, hot mess. That's what I am. But sometimes I get really overly excited about wanting to help you guys feel better, especially in my office, that I jump right in to doing the processing. I am trying to give you guys a little bit more information because I don't get to sit in the room with you. I can't do it with you. I can't make sure you understand it. All I can do is teach you something and hope that you can take what I've given you and use it to better your life. But within the month, I am going to put out a video that will show you how to process specifically the anxiety that you are carrying with you. So stay tuned for that, because I promise you it will be worth it. But just give me a little more time to get my feet on the ground, make sure that I'm giving you the right information, and starting this really, really amazing journey with all of you. Have a great week.